Hello and welcome to the Movie Power Ranking Show. I'm your host, Gabe Alexander, and with me as always is Mike Romick. Mike, how are you?
Very good.
So we are here today to talk our Oscars recap show, and that music you were hearing, Mike, was from the winner for Best Score from Dune, which was, who was the, Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer was the composer there, so, but first, Mike, let's go into the elephant in the room, the Johnny Depp movie, Minamata.
Never heard of it until it was one of the top 5 fan favorites. Oh my God. Had you ever heard of it?
No. I'm looking it up now. It's from 2020. Johnny Depp. War photographer Eugene Smith travels back to Japan where he documents the devastating effect of mercury poisoning in coastal communities. So,
wow.
Elephant in the room
it's a
covered.
20 movie? Wow. Okay.
Elephant in the room covered, Mike. Let's move on to the awards. No, okay.
Yeah.
No, Mike. We have to, I guess, discuss the incident that happened during the Oscars.
Well, I thought we'd talk about the low-cut dresses first.
Oh, yeah? Is that what you want to talk about?
No, wait. I thought how we would start this would be, I thought Hugh Hefner and Russ Meyer from Beyond the Grave were producing the show. Of course, until, the infamous slap happened, and that went out the window. So, it's what everybody's been talking about. And just today I heard that, yesterday it was the Academy, first there was no response. Then the Academy said they asked him to leave. Then today the thing is, no, I guess Will Smith's people said they didn't ask him to leave. So who knows?
So you're a podcaster and YouTuber now, Mike. You got to give me your take on what your feelings were. What did you feel when you saw it happen? It's been a couple of days now since. What are your feelings now? And
like most people, I thought it was a setup. I thought it was a gag. And then when you realized, when they were bleeping it and all this, and I thought, oh, gee, I guess it's not. And, it's just it's a mess. There's no winner here. Now, first you look at, let's take Chris Rock is no innocent victim here. I mean, first, he'd already kicked Jada to the curb when he hosted the Oscars about Oscars so white. Okay, fine. And, and then he goes out of his way to say something, which, if you believe everybody, it wasn't on the teleprompter, it wasn't in rehearsal. And again, a lot of people, myself included, knew she had this medical condition. So, okay, maybe he didn't know, who knows, you don't know. But again, to single her out was just sort of odd to begin with. And then you go to the back of a dusty drawer to pull out this joke about G.I. Jane. And it's like, I wonder how many people had to Google G.I. Jane to get the connection with the old Demi Moore movie. I mean, a lot of people in the room got it. I got it. But again, it's like, a lot of people watching G.I. Jane 2. What does that mean? So, but at that point, and then of course they show the clip where Will Smith, laughing. And then, you glance over to her and she's not. And then he, traipses up to the stage. So there would have been so many different ways to handle it. So, he was going to win. I mean, there's nobody in the world that didn't think he was going to win. He certainly could have addressed this in his speech, and he could have screamed out from his seat without going up to slap him. I mean, and it's like, if he was really going to do it, he doesn't, I guess it could have been worse. He could have decked him or something. But again, he slaps him and then moseys back to his seat. I mean, and Chris Rock, he a little uncomfortable, but he kept going. He gave the category. And who decided to let Chris Rock give documentary film? I don't know where that came from. But again, at this point, it's like, maybe Chris Rock was out of line and, it wasn't that funny a joke, whatever it is, but you don't attack somebody on this stage and, and now, it's like, if they were asked him to leave and he didn't leave, then, if I was the Academy again, it would have been, there was no happy ending here. Don't give the award on the show. Just skip over and go to Best Picture and then announce later that, Will Smith won. That would have been one way to do it. But again, like I said, there was no happy ending other than, in Will Smith's obituary, it will be that usually people like to say, well, at least it'll say I'm an Academy Award winner in the first sentence of my obituary, but it will say when he won his Academy Award, he slapped Chris Rock. I mean, that's what the paragraph will be on his obituary. What did you think?
Well, I never heard that idea, and I like your idea of how you say to cancel. If he did refuse to leave, that you would cancel then the presentation of that category. I think that's a great idea. I mean, I've never even heard that from anyone out there.
No.
And, I mean, I was watching it and I was a little behind on the DVR, but I was stunned. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I thought it ruined the whole show. I feel like it ruined everyone's mood in the room.
Did you think it was real to begin with?
I thought it was a punch at first. I thought it was a punch. And then
but you didn't think it was a joke. You didn't think it was a setup.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a setup because I knew about the drama with that family, and I knew people. I don't know if you know this, Mike, but people have been picking on Will Smith a lot. Supposedly she was seeing some other younger man. There's a lot of talk that he was trying to reclaim his manhood. Excuse me, I've been sick all week and that's not COVID. My employer got me tested. So, but, was it something like that? Was he trying to, and I heard, takes from other YouTubers and stuff to say, she can't defend herself. Like, she's a grown woman and it's just a joke from a comedian. Now, if Chris Rock would have slapped his wife, then yeah, physical violence would be warranted in my opinion. But to slap, I am pro comedian. I like comedians, and I don't think we want to start this trend where if a comedian says something on stage that you don't like, that you can get up there and do violence upon them. No. You're sitting in the front row of the Oscars. You're going to get some jokes thrown your way. Like it doesn't look, but Will Smith and his family don't come off looking good. I've got some jokes. I came up with jokes that night. Like, she's from Philly. I was like, if Philadelphia fans think they can do this now, I'm like, wait till those Sixers and Eagles games, because, oh boy. And,
the city of brotherly love. There you go.
I saw a comment on YouTube that I thought was funny. Like, well, he stood up for his wife, so now he can sit and watch, her and the younger man. Yeah, there's some people that dig on him pretty good. And, maybe was this did he hit a breaking point? Was this just emotional? I don't know, because like you saw, he did laugh at it, and they were acting at first the way you would expect someone to get hit with a lame joke like that. But I mean, yeah, not.
The thing is, as I've read plenty of things over the last few days, and his persona to the public is a nice guy. I mean that,
right, he never swore in any of his music or really movies, I mean.
Right, and he gets along with everybody and all, but supposedly behind the scenes, it isn't the same. It's like, you hear like Tom Hanks is a nice guy in public and behind the scenes, but you hear that there's, not so nice Mr. Nice Guy behind the scenes, but he makes sure he doesn't present that. But here was the night of his life. He was going to win the Oscar. He knew it. We knew it. Everybody knew it. And then he takes it upon himself at this point to really screw up his big night, which he did. I mean, in defense of this musty old joke, I mean, he could have addressed it in his acceptance speech, any number of ways to be handled, or even scream his profanity-laden thing from the seat right there. Don't get up and slap him. And I think I don't know, it was Kathy Griffith, I'm pretty sure it was, where she came out, where this has opened the floodgates. If, somebody makes a joke on the stage, if you've been to a comedy show, if you're up front, you're going to get it. I mean, whether you're a star or not a star, and if you don't like it, it just means it's okay if there's no repercussions. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying take his Academy Award away from him, but, there's all sorts of people who have been removed from the Academy, whether it's Harvey Weinstein and Roman Polanski and different people. I mean, even Kevin Spacey, I don't think he's been removed, but he's got 2 Oscars. I mean, it's like, people have done things, but again, there's an Academy Awards code of conduct, and slapping somebody on the stage is sort of breaking the code of conduct.
Do you think, 2 questions, do you think his Oscar will be taken away? And
No.
Do you think he'll be invited back?
No. And it's going to be hard pressed for, he's got a whole lineup of movies that he's signed up for. And it's like, is it going to be like Armie Hammer, where they're going to yank him out of movies and change the casting? Or is it going to be like Kevin Spacey and is it All the Money, I think it's All the Money in the World, the Ridley Scott, where they redo all his scenes with another actor, Christopher Plummer, who was wonderful. But you just don't know. But again, people are not going to think of him in the same way ever, because it was just, people in Ukraine probably have watched it. This thing too, if they have the power. I mean, it's just,
yeah,
it's not, he's not going to be able to elude it the rest of his life. It's just not going to happen.
Right. Yeah. Well, and my first, I think that we when we talked, I said, if I were like Kevin Feige and Marvel looking at Will Smith for something, not anymore. Probably. I mean, I'm probably right. So.
And did you know, I mean, I kind of knew this, but I had forgotten that Chris Rock had been, I believe, a producer of a documentary about black women's hair.
I believe it's called Bad Hair.
Right.
So I guess if anyone, like, we all know not to talk about black women's hair, but again, if anyone is, maybe Chris Rock, because he did that. He's black. He did that documentary. I mean, I don't know. I mean, again.
But that's sort of a bad, I mean, that joke really wouldn't be something that he should have been making, concerning that, there is a lot of problems with, schools and sports that, have a problem with the way black women wear their hair. And again, he makes a joke about her hair. Again, whether he knew about her condition or not, I mean, really, that's the joke you're going to make? I would have made a joke about that dress, which I don't know how she could have even walked to her seat in that dress. And if you saw her later on, she changed out of that green thing, the massive thing she was wearing.
Okay, well, enough on Wilson.
Yeah, let's move on to
I think it's a big enough distraction. It ruined the show for me, and it just threw me out of the whole night. And plus, I was getting sick. It was not a good evening for me.
The 2 people that are happiest about this, Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway, because it used to be, oh my God, they read the wrong Best Picture. Now that's faded into the woodwork, because now
not even going to be an issue now after that.
Exactly.
But again, like, if you want to have ratings next year, hey, have Chris Rock host the Oscars. I mean, I know you don't think he did a good job, but as far as the ratings would go.
Oh yeah, because they're certainly not going to have Will Smith host the Oscars. That's for sure.